I've replaced the transmission filter in this 2016 F150 and put new fluid in the pan, and now I'm going to flush it. And to do that, I'm going to vent the transmission by removing the fill cap and the fluid level indicator stick, and then I'm going to try to isolate the return line to the transmission from the transmission oil cooler. And when I initially looked this up, this appeared to be the right hose, but turned out to be the wrong one, as you'll see. The hardest part about this job was removing the line on my vehicle and using the Quick Connect tool. I initially had the plastic Ford one from the parts store, and it broke and it didn't work well. The tolerance is just so tight, but that Lyle disconnect tool I found online was metal and was sturdy enough to get the job done. So you'll see as I start it up here that I got my line reversed. So I turned the vehicle back off, had my helper immediately turn the vehicle off just so I didn't make a huge mess, put that cooler line back on, and then tried the other one, which ended up being the cooler return line to the transmission. Got that disconnected, put a little cap on it just to keep it from dripping, not really necessary. And then I put a hose down into my waste bucket, and then this is going to be my my new clean fluid that I'm going to pump into the transmission while the pump is cycling it out. So I'm filling this bucket up with a bunch of Mercon LV transmission fluid. You can use an equivalent if you'd like, Valvoline or something, as long as it's Mercon LV equivalent. I put about 4 gallons plus in there and ended up needing even a little bit more than that to get the job done and get the fluid coming out as clean as it was going in. Before I start this, just making sure my fluid level in the pan looks good so I'm not sucking air. And then the person up on top started the vehicle, gets the transmission's oil pump flowing, and that's pumping that out into a bucket. It's not crazy fast, so you can work with your supply bucket and pump it in a way that seems equivalent to what's coming out. The person up top in the meantime is cycling at about 5 seconds in park reverse neutral drive. Like I said, I had to turn off the vehicle and then top off my bucket or add a little more fluid, and that's what I was doing there. And eventually I got it to where it was coming out as clean as it was going in. I was happy with it, so reconnecting my cooler lines before I start it and check the level. Cleaning it up a little bit with some brake clean to dissolve that oil that I spilled everywhere, and then putting on the little retainer clip. And now with the vehicle running again, I'm going to check the level. Initially just a little bit low, so I pump a little bit more into the pan and then recheck it, and I was happy with where it was at, as you'll see here, just right at the kind of bottom quarter of the cool range, which I felt was about right for the transmission temperature I had. You can check it again when it's hot, go drive it a little bit, and then get under it and see if you like the range with it warmed up. And then put the fill plug cap back on, torque it to 26 foot-pounds, or in my case I just went with snug and not leaking, but not too tight, and then cleaned it up again with some brake clean. And that's really all there really is about this job, just checking for leaks and peeking under there after you put some miles on it and make sure everything's still happy and your fluid level's good. But hope you'll find that helpful, and I hope you like and subscribe.